Hello YouTube. Don't know why I stood there for 3 seconds before I said hello. I was just thinking of what I wanted to say, where I wanted to make a big elaborate welcome. Which is actually what I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about weird things that people do. I've got a little list here. Got my list of 10 things that people do that are weird. It's not like a top 10 weirdest things people do or anything like that. It's just 10 things I've noticed people do that is a bit weird. And I do some of them. I'll count how many I do later on. But I've written them in the wrong order here, but I've numbered them. So I'm going to go through them in the right order. And I'm going to cross them off as I go through them. So, and I've just thought of another one. Right, number 1, hand gestures while talking. You may have noticed from watching my face-to-face videos that I do a lot of hand gestures while talking, to accentuate what I'm saying normally. You know, it's like if I'm talking to you, I will gesture to you. If I'm talking about me, I will point at me. If I'm from there, and I'll do this, and do all these hand gestures while I'm talking. I look like I should be a weatherman or something, and the sun's gonna appear, and the rain, and the cold front pushing up, and see a band of high pressure is gonna move down, that sort of thing, But I do all these hand gestures, and other people do it as well, like Adriano Celentano. When they're saying the truth, man, the whole been the same and the whole is maybe as the couple of us die. No, I mean like other guys on YouTube, you'll see that they'll do a lot of hand movements while talking in their face-to-face videos. I can't explain why people do it. Even when you're just talking to someone face-to-face, like if I was talking to my mate, or to my girlfriend, or to my mum, or to, my next door neighbour, or whatever, I would probably, whatever the hell I was saying, probably have some kind of hand gesture. And I don't mean like or I mean like I was walking down the street and I noticed high up in the sky was a spaceship, and this beam of light came down and the sky went up into the ship, and then this car drove by with the lights and sirens, and what are you doing? What are you doing? What the hell am I doing? I'm doing all these hand gestures, and they're involuntary. You don't know you're doing it. Well, you know you're doing it, sort of, because you can see your hands going like this as you talk, but you can't control it. You can try and physically stop yourself from doing these hand gestures, like if you jam your hands in your pockets, but then you start doing this instead. So I was walking down the street, and a spaceship, and it's like, looks like you're trying to shag something that isn't there. But yeah, I don't know why people do it, and I can't explain why people do it. But if you know why people do it, then you're more intelligent than I am, and I'm actually quite intelligent, as many people already know. Whether everybody would agree with that, I have no idea. But I am quite intelligent. As far as intelligence goes, I just don't show it all the time. One thing I learned from going through school is not to always show how intelligent you are. You'll still catch me doing it sometimes, like I'll correct someone's spelling or on YouTube comments or something, or I'll use a big word here or there, which really exacerbates the problem, because when you're trying to appear as though you're not more intelligent than everyone, and then you're using big words. I mean, it's just a big amalgamation. See, I'm doing it already. Just use two big words there. I didn't even want to finish that sentence. But yes, that's number one. People like doing weird hand gestures, and I don't know why they do it. I know I do it, and I don't know why I do it. It's an involuntary thing. Number two. Walking straight past where you need to go. If you're out walking and you decide that you need to go to the bank to get your money, co-op to get some milk, and Halfords to buy a bike lock. So you go out and you go to the bank and you'll be walking, and you'll either completely forget to go to the co-op or whatever shopping centre you go buy your milk from, and you'll go buy your bike lock, and you'll get home and you'll go, fuck it. Or you'll go to the bank and then you'll go to the co-op or Morrison's or wherever you buy your milk from, and you'll buy your milk, and then you'll completely forget to buy your bike lock. And then you'll get home and you'll make a cup of coffee and you'll go, fuck. Could you do? Because like you can walk straight past where you need to go. I mean, like, even if it's just like, oh, I need to pop into my mate's house to ask him something, you know, while I'm on my way to work, or on my way home, or on my way to buy some milk. Don't know why I've got milk in my head. I have no idea. I haven't got milk in my head. That would just be a bit weird, wouldn't it? You know, just been injecting it into the brain. I've got milk on the brain. Not literally, otherwise there'd be something wrong with me. For some reason I keep thinking about milk. God knows why. Actually, God doesn't know why, because it doesn't exist. Bingo! Got bingo on the brain now, fuck! Oh, that's it, I'm thinking about two fat ladies. God, no. But I digress. Yeah, you'll completely forget to go to your mate's house, and you'll walk straight past on your way to work or whatever, and you will completely forget to go into your mate's house, and then you'll get home or you'll get to work and you'll go, fuck, knew I meant to go to my mate's house. And you'll go, well, I've gone on my way home. You know, I've gone to where I've gone and forgot. I'll go on my way home. And you'll probably forget on your way home as well. And you'll get home and you'll sit down and you'll go, fuck. You probably won't say the word fuck, but yeah. But I don't know, like, sometimes we have this compulsion to just walk straight past what it is we want. It even happens inside supermarkets. Like if you want to buy milk, eggs and flour because you want to make some pastry for some reason, you want to buy milk, eggs and flour. Otherwise you're just cooking some weird food if you want milk, eggs and flour and you're not making pastry. But yeah, you want some milk, eggs and flour and some Dr. Pepper. You'll go round and you'll walk straight past the aisle with the eggs on it. You'll buy milk, you'll buy flour, you'll go straight along the other side of the supermarket again, straight past the eggs again to get... Did I say eggs? No, it's flour, wasn't it? You buy the milk... No, it was the eggs, wasn't it? You buy the milk and the flour and you walk straight past the eggs again to go get Dr. Pepper, and you'll get served and you'll go home. Then you'll go, damn, I needed eggs. And you'll have to go back to the shop. And you look like a right twat when you go back to the shop because you forgot to buy eggs the first time or whatever. You know, or you forgot to buy crisps. Or you bought everything but what you needed. That's a funny saying as well. But I bought everything but. Did you buy any eggs? No, but I bought everything but. Really? Did you buy some pots and pans? No. Did you buy some curtains? No. Did you buy a house? No. Did you buy a car? No. You didn't buy everything but then, did you, you lying little bastard? You mean you bought everything else on your shopping list apart from that? It's not everything but, it's just everything on your list. But yeah, so you'll walk straight past what you want to do, and you just can't explain why. It's just sometimes your brain will just forget one of the things you wanted to do, and you will walk straight past it. I've done it myself. But yes, we'll cross that one off the list now. You'd be interested to see how many of these things I actually do myself. Oh, here we go. Punching a ghost. No, I don't mean literally trying to find a ghost and then punching it. Yeah, just like lunge wildly at a ghost. No. Just to see what would happen. That's Bill Bailey, and that was a pope, not a ghost. But yeah. Sorry, that was the pope, not a ghost. Not a pope, not the ghost. But yeah. Punching a ghost. What I mean by that is when you're looking at your watch. There's a certain number of people. There's about 2 out of 10. That's 2 out of 10 people, but it'll be 2 out of 6 people who wear watches. Because the other 4 will not wear a watch, basically. You'll ask them what time it is, and they will do this movement to look at their watch. What? Like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like you punch a ghost in the face just to look at your watch. I mean, you could do this simple gesture. It's just like move both hands and sleeve goes up. Look at watch. Sleeve goes back. Sleeve goes up. Sleeve goes back. Sleeve goes up. Sleeve goes back. I mean that's how I look at my watch. You know, just sort of like, it's 3 o'clock, mate. You don't need to punch a ghost in the face and then do this like some kind of crazy salute just to look at your fucking watch. It's like, whoa! It's 3 o'clock, mate. And you're half expecting to go afterwards. You know, it's like, you look fucking weird, and it's almost like, and you can see them like all the way across the room, and you'll go, that guy over there is weird, or that girl over there is weird. You know, don't be sexist about it. Are you saying that girl looks like a guy? No, I'm not saying that girl looks like a guy. Well, you just said that's a guy and there's a girl. So, well, look at her though. She does look a bit like a man. And that's my sister. Oh, I do apologise, mate. You're right though. She does look like a man. That was the weirdest conversation to have. But yeah, but people will do it, and you'll think, why? 2 out of 6 people that wear watches do that, and that's 2 out of every 10 people in the world. Because for some reason the other 4 people out of 10 don't wear watches, because we just pull out our mobile phones and look at the time, or our iPad, or our iPod, or our iPhone, or our BlackBerry, or our PDA, or whatever. But I mean, I used to wear 2 watches, and they both had alarms that were set to go off an hour after each other, and they both said the exact same time, down to, well, they were perfectly in time with each other. I would say down to the second, but then you got fractions of a second, you know, like milliseconds or whatever. But yeah, it's like they each click the second perfectly in sequence, you know, simultaneously. So yeah, I don't know why people have to punch a ghost to look at their watch. It's fucking stupid, and you look like a dick. Nobody else does it. Well, 1 other person out of 10 does it. So why do you 2 need to do it and everyone else doesn't? It's pointless. See if we've moved on to number 4. This is one I do a lot. Moving while playing games. No, I don't mean like getting out of your chair and sitting in a different one, or standing up or whatever. I mean moving. Like you are playing a driving game, like Midnight Club, and there's a bit where you can drive under the back end of a lorry. You get that on some of the races. You can just like drive straight under the back end of the lorry if you're in a low enough car, and you will do this as you're doing it, and then you realise, did I just duck? I just ducked, didn't I? And then like you'll hit the NOS and you'll lean back as though you're speeding up, and then you'll think, I just leant back, didn't I? That's weird. And then you'll do that thing where you're playing Splinter Cell and you're trying to look round the corner and you'll do this. You can't see round the corner because it's a flat screen, but you'll be doing this, or you'll be looking over the ledge like this, or you'll be looking under the you can't see round these things, so what the hell are you doing? And you'll be playing Star Fox or some kind of aeroplane or spaceship game, and you'll be doing this as you're flying around, and it's like an asteroid, and you'll do this as you're pulling the triggers as well, it's like, what the hell are you doing? I mean, I do it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Well, it is a bad thing because you look weird when you do it. But for some reason, some of us get so into our games that we actually think we're the person in the car, or the spaceship, or the aeroplane, or the person looking around the corner, or whatever, like a Splinter Cell, and we will actually move as our character would. And one of the things I used to do when playing Super Mario Bros., now this is years ago, is I used to do that thing where every time I wanted Mario to jump, I would press the button to jump, but I would also do that with a control pad. But doing that does nothing. I mean, this isn't the Nintendo Wii. Doing that doesn't do anything. This is the old NES console. It didn't have motion controls. It just said your 4 buttons, your 2 shoulder buttons, start, select, up, down, left and right, and possibly the diagonal ones if you had that particular control pad. That's the SNES though. The NES only had A and B. Start, select, up, down, left and right. That was it. There was no diagonals, there was no X and Y, there was no shoulder buttons. That was it. There was no motion controls built into it, so doing that did nothing. But I still did it every single time I wanted Mario to jump. And I can't explain why. And I've seen other people do it recently in games, People do it all the time. And you look at them and you think, that's weird. But what's even weirder is I do it as well. I guess some of us just get so into games that we just think we are the character. It'd be a different story if we actually were the character, because we'd be dead by now. Especially with some of the retards that play computer games, that chuck their fucking characters off cliffs. I used to chuck Lara Croft off the cliff just because I didn't like Lara Croft. Moving along the lines of computer games, we've got talking to your TV or computer. Like, say you're playing Midnight Club. I'll use that as an example again. And you get sideswiped by one of the other racers, and you'll say something like, "Oh, you little bastard, I'll get you for that." But they're not going to respond to you. But you say it anyway, as if you're going to get a response. Like you would if you were, playing with a friend. Like, "I'll get you for that, you bastard." No, you won't. But like, the computer's not going to answer you. Or like, you'll be shooting someone, like on Splinter Cell, or Ghost Recon, or Call of Duty, whatever the fuck you're playing, And no, when I say Call of Duty, I don't mean Black Ops 2. Fucking rubbish. I don't mean Modern fucking Warfare either. Just mean Call of Duty, okay? In general. So you're playing a shooting game, and you're shooting at this guy, you know, you're snipering, or you're pistoling, or, you know, whatever. And then this guy shoots you from the left-hand side, or the right-hand side. And you didn't even know he was there. He opens a door, or walks up to a window or something, and just pops you one. Or he pops up behind you and shoots you in the back. Or, you know, whatever, he throws a grenade at you, and you die. And you just sort of go, oh, for fuck's sake, you little bastard, where did you come from? But you know where he came from, because he just shot you from the side, or from behind, or from above, or from below. So you know where he came from, and you know where he was the whole time. But you'll still then blunder into that room, shoot the guy in front of you, and be shot from the left-hand side, or the right-hand side, or whatever again. And you'll go, fucking hell again! And you'll do it again and again, and you will complain about it every single time. Why? Eventually you learn from your mistake and you throw a grenade in instead, or whatever. But you will talk to the characters in your computer games. You will also talk to the character you're controlling. I mean, I do it. You know, it's like, oh, I said jump, you bastard. Get down on the floor. They can't hear you. They'll only get down on the floor if you press the button. You can't say get down on the floor and they'll get down on the floor. It doesn't work like that. Unless you're using some kind of voice control. But it doesn't really work. But you will still talk to the characters in the game, and it gets really, really weird, some of the things you say to it. Like I was playing Splinter Cell the other day, and you know, and you can guess which one it is by what I say here. And I picked up a rock and I threw it across the room, and the guy said, "What was that?" And the other guy goes, "What?" He goes, "I heard something." "You're always hearing things." "Well, this time I'm pretty sure." And then they walk over there, and then I smacked one in the back of the head, and his mate turned around and said, "What happened?" And I just went, "I smacked him in the back of the head, you fucking stupid twat." And then like a couple of minutes later I realised that I just talked in response to a character in the game asking a question. He can't hear my answer. He wasn't talking to me. Why the hell did I just answer him? How mental do you have to be to talk or to answer a question asked by a computer game character when he wasn't even asking you the question? I must have just got really into the game, I guess. But people do it. People talk to their computer games. Now in some cases the computer game talks to you. And that gets really confusing. You know, since the days where you left Sonic the Hedgehog stood there and he sort of started tapping his foot and looked at you. And looked at his watch. Didn't punch a ghost though, he looked at his watch and ended up. Since the days of that, computer games have come a long way, and they actually talk to you now. Like if you played Conflict Global Storm, and you just left your character stood there, he would tell you that we need to get on with the objective. Whatever the objective is, you know. You're like, "Control, we better get moving." You know, that sort of thing. If you're a fan of Sacred and you leave your Vampirus just sort of standing there, you know, she'll say something like, Such a crime to leave me standing here like this. If you leave me standing here again, I'll come into your room at night and bite you. And weirdly, that didn't scare me when she said that. If anything, I was slightly aroused. I always preferred Seraphim, but that's another story. But we talk to our computer games, and now we have computer games that talk to you when you leave them idle. And we also have computer games where you can talk to them and they will do what you want. So, like, what's the next step, really? But a lot of us, we don't all do it, but a lot of us talk to our computer games, and none of us can tell you why. Then of course, there's my all-time favourite, which is number 6 on our list here. Threatening your laptop, computer, television, mobile phone, whatever. You know, you say that thing like, if it don't work properly, I'm gonna throw you out the fucking window. As if that's gonna help. Sometimes it works, you know, sometimes you'll say, like, work, or I'll throw you out the window, and it'll start working properly again. And you'll go, okay. And you'll feel a bit weird, because maybe it paid attention to what you said. Who knows? Of course, you never will throw it out the window, unless it was completely knackered and you knew it was totally unfixable. You just sort of go, well, fuck it then. But like, you never actually throw it out the window. It's like you work or throw it out the window. Oh, it's still not working. You never actually do that. You just use it as a threat. You are threatening your phone. You are threatening your laptop. You are threatening your television, your video recorder, your DVD player, your Blu-ray player, your laptop, your personal computer, your mobile phone, your iPad, your iPhone, your iPad, iPod, your mini disc player, your PSP, your PS Vita, your Nintendo Wii U, your Nintendo Wii, your Xbox 360, your Xbox, your PlayStation 1, your PlayStation 2, your PlayStation 3, your PlayStation 4, your PlayStation 5, your Atari, your Amstrad, your Commodore 64, your Sinclair ZX81, whatever. You threaten it, and it works. I can't explain why it suddenly starts working once you've threatened it. Maybe the idea of being thrown out the window, or smashed with an hammer, or whatever you threaten to do to it, maybe it just seems to click in the computer software somewhere. Don't want that to happen, better start working. Sometimes it doesn't work, but most of the time it does. But it's not that's the weird thing. It's the fact that you actually threaten it in the first place. Like, you're not threatening a person. Yeah, like, get out of my house or I'll smack you on, you bastard. It's, you know, and then they get out or you smack them. I mean, it's like, it's not that. It's you are threatening an inanimate object. That's like saying, you fucking pen, you better work, I'm gonna snap you in half. You're still not working? Snap. And then you just throw it across the room or something. And you go, well, what's the point? I mean, yeah, you've got to pick that up now. But you threatened a pen. You threatened a monkey wrench. You threatened a cap. You threatened your phone. You threatened your laptop. They're inanimate objects. I'm going to threaten my scissors. I'm going to threaten my cup. I'm going to threaten my door. I'm going to threaten the doorknob. If you don't twist properly, I'm going to throw you out the window. You threatened your bike. You threatened your bike lock. You threatened your deodorant. I'm looking around the room now thinking of things to threaten. You threaten your lamp. You threaten your headphones. You threaten your computer game. You threaten the characters on the computer game. Yeah, it's like, if you don't stop shooting me, I'll blow your head off. That's the whole idea, isn't it? If you crash into me again, I swear I'll run you over. Yeah. Must be in a tank. But yeah, we threaten our electronic items. And I don't know why. I'll take that on my list now. Right. These ones are all to do with phones. Well, no, we've got another one. Crazy waving. Now, we all know how to wave, you know. Like, bye, you know. That's a regular wave. You know, some people just did a... Yeah. But some people do some crazy waves. You know, you did this one. It's like you're really just trying to get their attention, aren't you? You're not waving goodbye or waving hello, you're just trying to get someone's attention. Or you're trying to pat an invisible fly. Or you're trying to punch this ghost in the face but he keeps moving out of the way. Just check your phone, it's easier. Check your watch, check your phone. Why do you have your phone on your sleeve? I'll get to that story later. But yeah, some people do some crazy waving. Like, I've seen people do that one that Marty McFly does on Back to the Future. You know, sort of like... It's like, you are not Marty McFly. You did not just stop yourself from altering the course of history and changing the future, even though if you did, you wouldn't exist to alter the course of history and change the future, so therefore you wouldn't alter the course of history and change the future, so therefore you would exist. But I'm not even going to go into that, because most time travel films and programs and cartoons or whatever have so many inconsistencies, and the 3 Back to the Future films were full of inconsistencies. But yeah, but people wave like that, and people wave like this. That's fine if you're saying hello to a baby in a pushchair, like, hi, but don't wave like that to your friends, because you look like a right fucking muppet. Hi, what the fuck are you doing? Old ladies do it a lot, I don't know why. But they mainly do it to like children. It's like, hi, yeah, see you later. But normal adults will do it to normal adults, like, bye. It's like, what the hell are you doing? You don't wave like that. Imagine if the Queen waved like that. One is not amused. Yeah, imagine if President Barack Obama goes up to shake your hand. You know, shake your hand and he's like... He's good like a right muppet, isn't he? But yeah. But people will still wave in such weird ways. I don't know, maybe no one's ever corrected them. No one's ever probably said to them, you know, that's not the way people wave. You know, people wave like this, or people wave like that, you know. They do that sort of like spastic hand syndrome, like really fast ones, like, you know, or they'll go, so they just choke the chicken, you know. Not choke the chicken, choke the chicken. Yeah, it's like, that's chicken, they're like, oh. But why would anyone wave like this or like this if you look like a right muppet? What's worse is the people who wave like this. It's like, what the hell are you doing, man? Yeah, like, I just passed my... Well, it's more of a celebration than a wave, but it still looks like a wave, doesn't it? Like on Family Fortunes, or as the Americans would call it, Family Feud. They sometimes wave like this, don't they? No one waves with both hands. You look like a munter. A munter? A muppet, sorry. Look like a munter? What the fuck's a munter? No one waves like that. No one waves like this. Unless they're a fucking fucking idiot, or I've got something wrong with the band. And no one waves like that either. And I've seen someone wave like that. You know, flops his whole hand. He was gay. I mean, I've got nothing against people being gay or homosexual, whatever you want to call it. You know, who you have sex with and how you have sex with them is your own business. But like, you're not really hiding the fact that you're gay if you're waving like this. And I don't know how you can wave like that for more than 10 seconds, because I do it for 10 seconds and my fucking wrist hurts. Ow. And no, before you ask, you can't get arthritis from doing that a lot. Or from doing that. You cannot get arthritis from it at all. So if someone says to you, don't do that because you can get arthritis, tell them to shut the fuck up. And I can cross it off the list now. Now these last 3 things are to do with being on the phone. So I have my phone here, in case I need to demonstrate. And the first one is pitch modulation. Like you'll be talking, especially when you're saying goodbye. You know, you'll be talking, you know, say it's something sad, like someone's died. You know, like, yeah, we're all really devastated by it. We really can't believe she died. I mean, she was only 42, and the way it happened was just terrible. And then you will answer the phone call by going, yeah, well, I'll see you soon, and we'll let you know when the funeral's gonna be. Yeah, okay. Bye! It's like, yeah, it's all very morbid and we're all very sad. Bye! And sometimes you will do that thing where a sentence has a question mark on the end with an upwards inflection. You know, they do it on Family Guy. You know, it's like you'll be talking and for some reason your voice will go up at the end of each sentence and no one will notice, and so no one will tell you about it. And some people, they go the other way, which sounds even worse, because it really sounds like they're just having a stroke at the end of each sentence. And then they've got the people that actually say a different word at the end of each sentence, like, but in a different pitch. It doesn't matter whether they pitch it up or down or not, they still just say a word, like, yeah. So I was walking down the street, right, and I stopped and looked in the window, right, but it was on my left, right. So I'm looking in the window, right, and I saw this man, right, and he was looking straight at me, right, and he looked just like me, right, and I realised, right, that I was looking in the mirror, right. And I was like, what the hell am I doing, right? Bye! I know it seems stupid and I was really overacting that, but people do it. People actually do it. People will say bye 5 or 6 pitches higher than what they've just been saying, and they will say right at the end of each sentence, or yeah at the end of each sentence, or whatever. Or they will go up at the end of each sentence, or they go down at the end of each sentence, and you'll be watching them and you'll go, what are you doing? And you'll have the people that say yeah and no at different pitches and tones. You'll be like, yeah, so yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah. No. That's like the weirdest freeform jazz scat singing in the world. But people do it, and I don't know why. I mean, I don't. That's one of the things I've got on this list that I actually don't do. But people do, and that's why I put it on the list. Here we go. Prison yard pacing. No, I don't mean actually being in a prison yard and pacing up and down. When you're on the phone, you will do this thing where you will walk backwards and forwards along a specific line. And it's called prison yard pacing. Like if you were pacing up and down in the prison yard, looking at the guy across the other side of the yard, sizing him up, do you want to attack him or whatever, and like you'll be on the phone and you'll be walking backwards and forward like this, and you won't even notice you do it. You'll just suddenly start doing it halfway through the phone call, and you won't even know, and you'll be carrying on talking, and you'll probably look down every so often. You won't even notice that you're still walking along the same line over and over and over again, not getting further to the left or further to the right. You're not walking closer to that way or that way, and you're not walking closer to that way or that way. You're making the same amount of steps each time, turning around at the exact same point, making the same amount of steps back, and you don't even notice. It's only if someone recorded you that you'd realise what you were doing, and sometimes you would do it a bit slower, like if you were having to concentrate on a specific question, and sometimes you will do it faster, like if you were explaining something at high speed, and you will actually walk as fast as you talk, which is weird because you are walking and talking, which is things that people do all the time, but for some reason you seem to be doing it in a small confined area that doesn't exist. It's as though someone's put you inside a box on an elastic cord, and you have to go backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards, and you don't even know you're doing it until you stop and you put the phone down and you realise, why am I over here? I should be over here. And then you realise I must have been pacing up and down. But no one can stop you pacing up and down. I mean, obviously if you're sat down while on the phone, you're not going to be pacing up and down. Or if you're walking down the street talking on the phone, you're not going to be pacing up and down. But if you are stood still, like this, since someone rings you up at some point during the phone call, you are going to start pacing up and down, and you can't stop yourself from doing it. I don't know why. And nearly everybody I know, and nearly everybody I've seen on the phone, does it. No, I don't know anybody who can say, I don't pace up and down while on the phone. Unless you're one of these people that only ever answers the phone while walking or sitting down. But pretty much everyone I've ever seen paces up and down while on the phone, and I just don't get why, and I can't explain it. It's one of those weird things that people do. So we come to the final one, number 10. Fake posh phone voices. And I don't just mean posh ones, like, oh yes darling, we'll have to meet up for coffee at some point and discuss what's been going on with our families. But I also mean just people who put on any sort of fake voice while on the phone. It's like you could be talking like this, and it's like, yeah, you're a fucking dickhead, innit? And then you answer the phone, it's like, hello mum, how are you? Why am I talking like this? I have no idea. Or you'll see who it is, and you'll start talking like this kid, because for some reason you've suddenly picked up the phone and you suddenly become a chavvy bastard. It's like, yeah, I'll knock you out, mate. Yeah, you want to tell him that if he doesn't give me my money back, I'm going to come down there and knock him out. And it's like, why should your voice change just because you've answered the phone? Why should your voice change depending on who you've answered the phone to? I mean, I talk to everyone, really. I mean, it could be the job centre, it could be the council, it could be family, it could be friends, it could be a girlfriend, whatever. It could be a fucking dog for all I care. Be a bit weird if I was talking on the phone to a dog, but you get my point. I use the same voice, my normal voice. Hello, how are you? What are you up to? The same voice that I use while recording these videos, basically. If I'm doing different people, like if I'm saying, like, I met a friend the other day and he said blah 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 blah, I will do a different voice for that person speaking. So you were, like if you were reading a book, he turned to me and he said, she turned to me and she said, "Would you like to see me naked, darling? I have a body like a goddess." Like you do that, don't you? And sometimes I'll answer the phone and I'll go, "Hello, Madam Whiplash's brothel." And I'll do it in a kind of a posh way, be like, "Hello, Madam Whiplash's brothel," or whatever, It's like, sometimes I'll answer the phone and I'll go, "Bonjour." "Ah, oui, oui. Merci." And that's sort of like a fake posh accent, I guess, because I'm not really French, But yeah, but people do put on different voices while on the phone to different people. Like, you would ring your mate and you would talk differently than if you rang your mum. But you would anyway, because you probably swear a lot more on the phone to your mate than you would to your mum. But like, if you're trying to impress the person on the other end of the phone, and like companies will do it. You'll be talking to T-Mobile. I rang up T-Mobile once because I had a problem with my internet. So I rang them up, and it was a woman across the the west side of the country. And she had a very interesting accent. And I thought for a minute that she was trying to sound posher than she was. But as I got talking to her, not just about the issues I was having with the internet, but we got talking about, just regular stuff. Like, how are you? Where are you from then? Because you got an interesting accent. And it seems that her accent and her slight posh way of talking was just a natural thing. She wasn't putting on a posh accent just because she was on the phone. Like, she naturally was talking like that, because you can tell the difference. Because eventually, like, you'd slip, like, "Oh yes, darling, and I kicked him up the arse." "You kicked him up the what?" "I kicked him up the arse." You say one word without the accent or something, a word that you normally say in a different way anyway. "I kicked him up the arse." Marlene. But yeah, but some people will put on like a posh accent or a chavish accent or whatever, or or a Liverpool accent or a London accent or whatever when talking on the phone to different people. And you'll be talking to them, normally, and then their girlfriend rings them up and they're like, "Hello, darling, how are you?" And they're using perfect English, and they're not missing off a G or a B or anything anywhere, and they're perfectly pronouncing every single word. And then they put the phone down and they're back to so yeah, I was walking up the street the other day, they'll be talking cherry to someone, I'm gonna knock him out. Like, "Gotta get me some weed, man. Gotta get me some weed, man." That doesn't make sense. But I've heard people say that on the phone. They talk just normally like me, but then they ring up and, "Have you got me weed, man?" And like, are you trying to sound Jamaican? Because it's not working. In fact, you're making me crazy. "What's that you say, man? My friend here is taking the piss out of the way I talk." "No, man, I'm not talking any differently than I normally do." "You are, you liar." "I know he just said I am, and I'm a liar, but he's wrong, He's just trying to annoy me." No, you don't normally talk like that. So why are you talking on the phone like that? I mean, why? Why do people need to put on a completely different way of speaking while on the phone, and they won't just do it on the phone as well. They'll do it like among different people. Like if you're just talking to him as your friend, or talking to her as your friend, like, and then a different friend comes up, you will talk in a completely different way while that friend is there, and then when they've gone, you will go back to talking the way you were talking. You know, like a complete chav walks up, you know, and like you suddenly stop talking like this and start talking like this, kid. Yeah, walking up the street the other day and this guy was giving me some lip, so I banged him one in the face, and he never gave me no lip again. And then your mate's going to go, yeah, and it was a pretty good afternoon. And so I said, what the hell are you doing? Why are you talking in a different accent just because there's someone else around, or just because you're on the phone to someone or whatever? You are who you are, you talk how you talk. Why do you need to act as though you talk a different way? It's not just acting as though you talk a different way, it's acting as though you're a completely different person. I mean, I am who I am. I am what I am, and what I am is a total arsehole. No. So I've been making up my own lyrics to songs, and that's the ones I made for that one. But yeah, I mean, like, I talk how I talk. Actually, I don't talk how I talk, because how I talk now is different to how I used to talk. But I changed that through years of, you know, small changes. I didn't just suddenly go from talking like this to talking like this, kid. You know, in a split second. Basically I used to talk incredibly fast and incredibly quiet, and the two combined made it very difficult for people to understand what the hell I was talking about. And it's taken me ages to talk slightly louder and a fuckload slower. And sometimes you'll still spot that I'm screwing up my language, because I will still talk fast sometimes, and then I will say a word wrong, or I'll pronounce it wrong, and I'll stop, pronounce the word correctly, or say the right word, and carry on. But most of the time people don't notice, but sometimes they do. Now also, for some reason, stops me being able to read and speak at the same time. So I can't read something and say it out loud, because I speak too fast for my mind to keep up, basically. And so I would have to physically read every word, so I might sound a bit slow or a bit retarded whenever I'm reading aloud, because I used to talk incredibly fast, but now I'm slower, and so I'm proud. Just made that up. But yeah, people put on fake posh voices, or fake voices of any kind, while either on the phone or talking with their friends, and I have no idea why they do it, and I don't do it. So if I don't do it, and a lot of other people don't do it, why does the small amount of people actually do it? Now, I haven't got the exact statistics for these 10 things, but I can tell you which ones I do. And if 9 other people tell me which ones they do, we can probably work out, you know, what it is out of 10, you know. So, I do a lot of hand gestures while talking, as you well know. That also includes making movements with your neck or body, you know, whatever. Like if you can't move your hands, sometimes you'll move your head or your body. But yeah, so I definitely do that. I do sometimes walk straight past where I want to be going. I've done it several times. I've done it quite a lot recently, actually. I don't know why people do that. I can't explain it. I don't know why I do it. I can't explain it. But I do it. So that's two things I do. I'm sorry if I just made a shitload of noise with the microphone. And sorry if you can't understand what I'm saying. And sorry I just coughed really loud. And I just realised this pen is blue, not black like I thought it was. Number 3. Punching a ghost. I've never punched a ghost while looking at my watch. Because I just do that movement. Or I don't wear a watch. Or even if I am wearing a watch, I was probably still sometimes just look at my phone instead. I've never punched a ghost to look at my watch. I think it's fucking stupid. Moving while playing games, I do that a lot. I really do. I do it a hell of a lot. I was doing it earlier on actually. I was playing Conflict Global Storm. And because it's a third person shooter, you can actually use the fact that the camera is behind you to your advantage. So you can walk up to a corner and turn, and the camera will show you what's around the corner. And I was still looking around the corner like this. And every time I pulled the trigger, I jerked the control pad like I was firing a gun. Like, no idea why. So yeah, I do move while playing games a lot. Talking to the TV or computer, I was talking to my game characters earlier, and I do that a lot as well. So yeah. Threatening your laptop, phone, or whatever, I do that a lot. I threaten my laptop more than anything. Like if the internet slows down for no reason, or it disconnects, or my game suddenly stops working, or whatever, I will threaten to throw my laptop out the window, or threaten to punch it. And of course I never actually throw it out the window, but I do sometimes punch it. I've never done any crazy waving, I'm proud to say, because if I ever did any crazy waving, people would point it out, and because I've always hated people doing crazy waving, yeah, they would really point it out. Haha, you're doing it now. So yeah, and I would feel a little hypocritical for doing something that I always say I hate people doing. High-pitched goodbyes and pitch modulation during talking. The only time I change my pitch while talking is if I'm like mimicking another person talking, like I said. I don't normally just go around changing the pitch of my voice for no reason. I might talk louder or quieter, but I don't suddenly just decide to start talking like this or talking like this for no reason. You know, I don't suddenly change the pitch of my voice or the tone of my voice just at will and start talking along as though nothing's happened. I don't do that. Prison yard pacing, I do that a lot. If I'm on the phone and I'm stood up and I'm stood still, I won't be stood still for long. I will be pacing like it's a prison yard, and I'll be pacing like the best of them. I'll be pacing so much that if I was on the beach, I would be making a fucking trench. Or if I was on like some mud, a I'd be making a trench. It doesn't necessarily have to be a beach, does it? You know, if I was on lots of sand or on lots of mud, I would be making a fucking trench in the floor. Basically, that's how much I pace up and down. And fake phone voices, which can include posh ones. I don't normally do that. Like I said, I do sometimes answer the phone in French, and sometimes while talking on the phone to people normally, I will suddenly just go, "Oh yes, darling, well you know what they're like," or that sort of thing. But I won't do an entire conversation like that. How I talk on the phone is pretty much how I talk now. You know, what you see is what you get. Well, what you hear is what you get. You know, if you listen, you will hear. That saying always confused me, you know. You're listening, but you're not hearing. But yeah, I've never had an entire conversation while speaking a posh accent or something, because I can't do it. I couldn't keep it up. That sounds disgusting. You know, but I couldn't keep up a different accent throughout the entire conversation, basically. I mean, I talk how I talk, and that is that. So I do, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do 6 out of those 10 things. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I do 6. I do 6 out of those 10 things. So yeah, how many do you do? Let's find out how many people actually do these things and how many people don't. And we'll work out how many out of 10 does each thing. There's one extra one that I like to do, I don't like to do, but I do it a lot without thinking. Again, I don't know if you do it as well. Flushing the loo by accident before using it. Like, you're walking to the bathroom, you'll switch the light on, you know, you'll get your cock out or whatever, or if you're a girl, you'll pull down your trousers and your knickers, but you'll flush the loo before you've even done anything. Not deliberately. You don't walk into the bathroom and deliberately flush the loo. Yeah, some people do, but yeah. But I mean, like, you'll walk in and you'll get your cock out and you'll flush the loo and you'll go, "But I haven't had a piss yet. What's the point in that? I'm wasting water." But you still do it. I mean, I still do it. Not very often, but I do it sometimes. And it really annoys me. But yeah. So that's the 10 weird things that I've noticed people do. Some of which I do myself. So, thank you for patiently watching this video, and tell me whether you do any of those 10 things. And you'll notice near the beginning of the video I said I just thought of another one. Yeah, that was this. How many of you, when you've finished using a pen, slide it into your baseball cap, or into your sunglasses, or, you know, behind your ear, or whatever, instead of sticking it in your pocket or on the table or whatever, you will just slide it in your cap or behind your ear. You know, behind your ear is an obvious one though. Like, how many of you actually just slide it in your cap or in your sunglasses, or keep it in your mouth, or, you know, just like stuff up your nose, stuff it in your ear for like you just tuck it in the back of your cap so it sticks up like a feather. how many of you sit there doing this? As soon as you realise it's a clicky pen, you have to sit there doing that. But yeah. So there's 10 things. How many of them do you do? And thank you for watching, and you will see me again soon.